The Knicks got it done on Friday night to hold off a late Nets run. I think we can officially say it's Mikal Bridges Appreciation Day at the Garden today, folks. So let's talk some Knicks basketball with Anthony Isaacs representing Knicks Nation. They represented Knicks Nation last night and managed to head off a little bro. What's going on, Anthony? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, Brandon. That was a huge Knicks win against this Brooklyn Nets team. It was a scrappy bunch. Look, they've pulled off some great wins this season, but the Knicks got it done. And then I mean the much needed win. Bridges with a game sealing block, Brunson with the game winner after coming off that Bulls game where it just went in and out. And it was a poetic ending
I mean,
as
I'm
well.
talking about like what the Knicks are doing to people's blood pressure. They could be you're down 22 against the Bulls, you come back, lose, and then you're up 21 against the Nets. They come back, you hit the game winner. Next thing you know, Mikal Bridges has to come and make the game-ending stop. I mean, go into the details, man. What did you see from this Knicks team that showed how they gritted out this win?
Look, coming into this game without Karl Anthony Towns, without Deuce McBride, so the Knicks were short-handed, and the rotations have kind of been like up in the air. So Tom Thibodeau, he went to his rookies, Pacom Daddier, Ariel Hukporti, who I think is becoming a fan favorite, and Jalen Brunson with an incredible game. Obviously, Mikal Bridges with a season high in that game as well, 22 points and a game-sealing block. But I just loved what I saw from beginning to end. Obviously, that fourth quarter was defensively got kind of dicey. OG Anunoby fouled out there on a questionable call, to say the least. But look, a win is a win, and I love what I saw from Hukporti. Look, Tom Thibodeau finished the game with Ariel Hukporti, and you just see his aggressiveness on the boards, his block shots, 4 block shots in the game versus Brooklyn. And Hukporti, I think, is going to, start to gain some more playing time here. And Tom Thibodeau trusted him at the end of the game, and for good reason. But ultimately, you got the win, and you needed that win after a heartbreaking loss versus Chicago Bulls. It was sort of like what you said, like the opposite. You go down 21 to the Bulls, you come back, you go up 21 against the Nets, you blow the lead, and Brooklyn comes back. But you got the win, Mikal and Bronson there at the end with a poetic ending, and it was just an awesome win.
And we're going to talk about Mikal in a little bit. Of course, we're going to give him his flowers. But one thing I just took away from what you said Tibbs, and trusting some of the guys on the bench to come in and get some minutes and not kind of run the minutes up on these starters and these stars on this team early in this season. It was great to be able to see that, especially at the Garden, so everyone can see that. So now it makes sense when he
Yes.
puts these guys in. We talked about how Cat kind of had his breakout game the other night. Bridges against his former squad. You talked about the block, the 22 points. Give this man his flowers, man, because he needed a night like this.
He did. He needed a night like that for sure, and it was just a great night for Bridges. Season had 22 points and a great block there at the end. Look, offensively, it hasn't really been an issue for Bridges other than his threes. I think he's shooting like 33% from three this season, but his mid range has been amazing. It's been the defense that has kind of been shaky to start this season. Has questioned Knicks fans like, look, Mikel's supposed to be this great defender, but he came into this game. Obviously, he wanted to show out against his former club and just played amazing. And this is the Mikal Bridges that, this Knicks front office traded for. You traded a lot of assets for him, and you want him to have games like tonight. And hopefully, this can instill confidence in him because, we need that version of Mikal Bridges night in, night out. He's an Iron Man. He plays every game. And defensively, hopefully, that can give him confidence to, be the great defender that he can be. Look, just a few years ago, he was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, second. And now coming into this season, you see the start that he has had defensively has kind of been shaky. But, ultimately, I'm not concerned about Bridges. I think this can be a stepping stone in the right direction. And hopefully the Knicks can get, the Mikal Bridges that we're so accustomed to seeing.
All right, game two on Sunday. You think we're going to get another instant classic like we did Friday night? And we talked about Cat having the big night, Mikal having the big night. How big would it be for the Knicks to sweep in terms of momentum for their season?
It'll be huge. Look, the Knicks are 6-6 this season. They're back to 500. You come into this homestand now. You're 1-1. I want them to win all three of these games that are left on their homestand. Look, you got a game versus Brooklyn And then, you got, I think you have the Wizards as well. But ultimately, I want the Knicks to just take care of their home cooking. And look, the Knicks have allowed three out of the last 4 games, they've allowed 120 points or more. So when your coach is Tom Thibodeau, defensively, this Knicks team just hasn't been, living up to their expectations. So hopefully we can get Cat back. Hopefully we can get, Precious back, who has been a huge part of our success. Then, just start the home cooking and just start sustaining a winning momentum until going into the West Coast trip, and we could just go from there. But yeah, you got the Brooklyn Nets, the Wizards. So just ended on a 3-game winning streak, and then you head out west.
All right, Anthony, real quick, man, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me over at X at Knicks Nation or on YouTube. We do post-game live streams. I do post-games every single game. Try to get every single game. We're at Knicks Nation, at Knicks Nation. Also on Instagram, at Knicks Nation as well. And wherever you can get your podcast, we're all over. So, yeah, just talking Knicks.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Brandon.